Hey everybody, Werewolf 2112 here. Here to do a Transformers review, my second, and we're going to do it on Mirage, Classics Mirage. Um, this is a character who is presented a little different on his tech spec card than he was in the show. According to his tech spec card, he was sort of an upper class aristocrat Autobot, and was sort of forced to join the ranks of the Autobots. Tried to avoid fighting and everything, but eventually couldn't be helped. So he begrudgingly joined the ranks of the Autobots, and apparently he was very snobbish. He viewed the other Autobots as beneath him, and had a real discontention with the Earth. He could not stand Earth. He'd rather be on Cybertron. He could care less about the planet. All he wanted to do was go back home and chase cyber foxes. Um, However, this changed in the show. In the show, he was much nicer, much kinder, um, much gentler. He wanted to go back to Cybertron, um, but it's more of a they presented it more as a homesickness than as him just not liking Earth too much. He was, normally a background character or wasn't present at all. But he did have one key episode where Cliff Jumper accused him of being a traitor. Uh, Thought that he was in cahoots with the Decepticons, and uh, upon accusing him, the Autobots said, "No, no, he's with us," and everything. And he, in order to try to prove his innocence, went to try and rectify the situation. The situation was that there was a Decepticon uh, power factory or some sort of power installation in a sector that Mirage was supposed to be investigating, and he didn't report on it, so Cliffjumper assumed that he was betraying him. Uh, Later on, Mirage tries to sabotage the Decepticons by by stealing energon cubes from the Insecticons and planting them on at the Decepticon facility while he was invisible. Which is one of the cool things about Mirage. Mirage has the ability to cast holograms or illusions. He can change his appearance. He can, uh, project alternate light images of himself to throw the enemy off balance. But the one he's most famous for is turning completely invisible. And he was traveling invisible with the Energon cubes from the Insecticons. And Cliffjumper caught him and knew that he had to be working for the Decepticons. But ultimately, Mirage was redeemed. It was proven that he wasn't a traitor. And everything was holly jolly after that. Now let's get on with the toy. This toy is awesome. A lot of people don't like it because, if you can tell right here, he is a little on the thin side. Um, Most people would go so far as to call him anorexic. Uh, to me, it doesn't really bother me a whole lot. Things I like about this toy. The posability. He is probably the most posable of the Classics line thus far. He's the easiest to get in cool combat poses. Real easy to maneuver around. He's got double joints up here in his arms from his transformation. Can move his wrist in and out. Um, the ball joint on the shoulders, allowing for not only the standard 180 movement, but also being able to go in and out. He's got terrific leg articulation, kind of double jointed legs. His little feet can move back. So, really, it allows for a great deal of playability. Things I don't like. There's really not a whole lot. You know, the wheels here, uh, kind of a nod to the old one, the original transformation. Granted, they don't fold down, but I still like the little touch. The head is kind of, denied by the back. You can turn it all the way around, but then he ends up looking pretty much straight up. So it's kind of stupid, but you know. Really, the only thing I don't like about his robot mode is this. He has the stupidest weapon. But anyway, let's get on to. Oh, and he does have some awesome light piping, but it's really not going to come up on here very well. But let's get on to the transformation. First thing you want to do, take out his little gun, take his hands, fold them inside, and go ahead and fold his arms up like so. Take his head, make sure his head is all the way back. Fold it up. Take his chest, rotate it up, and there you have him halfway done. For me, I'll have to straighten his legs out. You want to line up this peg here with this little indent over here. And you also want to line up this little strip right here with this little indent right here. So you get those lined up. Snap his legs together. Now you'll take his body, turn it around. Snap his shoulders into place. Just push down. Then you take these parts. You want to make sure to get these bottom two pegs on both his arms into this little circle right here. And yeah, yeah, like that. Then you just take his back legs, fold them down, then push up, and take his spoiler, line it up, position it how you want it, and take his retarded little gun and snap it right here. And there you have Mirage in his Formula One Grand Prix futuristic racer. Now, let's talk about this guy for a second. Things I like about his alt mode. The number 26 there and there. Call back to the old G1. The Witwicky spark plugs. Of course, everybody knows Sparkplug Witwicky was the father of Spike. The rub sign. Yeah. Hey, it showed up. Things I don't like. Really, I really like this alt mode. I think it looks real good. It's pretty fitting. Goes with the character rather well. You do see his head inside the cockpit, but that's really not too much of a bother for me. See where he's going. I think it's kind of cool. I don't like that he doesn't have the turning suspension, but that's all right. Overall, I'd say this is a great character. A great toy. You got to get him. So this is Werewolf 2112 signing off saying, be good to each other.